Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? It is your boy Optic Scumpy. I probably sound a little bit under the weather, and that's because I was and still am just a little bit. I was sick pretty much from when I landed from London till now. I had like the cold that I always get. I don't know what it is. Like I said in my video a couple days ago, I don't know what the fuck it is about London. But every time I come back from there, I get sick. But yeah, we're going to be doing a UMG Ontario video log, the ever so traditional video log after every single tournament. We're just going to be talking about it a little bit. I'm going to give you my insight, some of the things that happened, some of the things that went wrong, some of the things that went really right. Speaking of things that went really right, three-peat, baby! Let's get it! Three-peat! I knew we were going to do it. I had so much faith, and I had so much confidence in our team that we could do it, and we did it. 3 tournaments, 3 weekends, 3 championships, 3 countries, 2 teammates. What the fuck's going on? I don't even know. I don't know how we did it, to be honest with you guys, but we did it. We pulled it off. I'm so hyped, man. It was so awesome to do with my team. I'm just so happy. So proud of everybody that we played with. Enable, Karma, both of them played outstanding. Both of them did what they needed to do for us to win, and I'm just so excited that, obviously we won 3 tournaments in 1 month. I've never been to 3 tournaments in 1 month, let alone win 3 tournaments in 1 month, especially back-to-back-to-back weekends. I think that actually, that makes it amazing too, because to be the best team for 3 weekends in a row, especially in a game like Call of Duty, where there are inconsistencies and things that go wrong very, very often, it's just amazing to me that, our team is that talented and that well-rounded that we can actually do that and win 3 tournaments in a row. So, obviously Optic Gaming has struggled a bit in the past, but I'm so happy, and I really am. I'm so happy that now we have a team that can consistently win under the worst, scenarios, under the worst conditions. We had a couple of mishaps in the finals, grand finals against FaZe. We actually ended up losing a series to them, and then we came back strong. We recollected ourselves, and then we ended up 3-0ing them. So it's amazing. But let's talk about the tournament just a little bit. So let's start on Friday. We get to UMG Ontario. Me and Matthias actually drove together. It was only like a 20-minute drive for us, so that was pretty cool. We hopped in the car together, and we went. So Friday, we had 2 pool play matches. We played Rise. And this was a pretty interesting match because we went up 2-0. We were like, all right, we're about to 3-0 these guys. We're about to beat them. And then, and then we ended up losing the next 2 maps, and they're coming back. And then we ended up taking map 5. I think it was 6-4. So you think about things like that, and that could have completely changed the outcome of the whole tournament. Say if we lose that last map and we don't, come out of pool play. I mean, we probably still would have came out of pool play. We probably still would have gotten second, but it would have changed our bracket a little bit. But if you just think about that, things like that can change a tournament. And it's just weird to think about. Call of Duty's weird. But so then next, I believe we played Vex later that night, and then we beat them 3-0. They played us really, really well in the hardpoint and the SND. I think we won by like 40 in the hardpoint and 6-5 SND, and then the CTF we just absolutely mollywopped. But yeah, they played us really, really well as well. So that's Friday for you guys. So moving on to Saturday, we then played against 2 more teams in pool play. We had 4 matches total in pool play. So we played 2 more teams. The funny thing is, after Friday, after our Rise match, I don't think that we dropped a map until Winners Finals. Yeah, we didn't drop a map until Winners Finals. So our 3rd match was against XGN. They were the amateur team that came out of pool play. We ended up 3-0ing them. I can't really remember too many of the details from that match, but I think it was a pretty convincing win across all the game types. I think we played. That's whenever we just started playing really, really well. We started to mesh a lot, so we beat XGN. Now we're 3-0 in pool play. And then lastly, we played AR, and then we ended up 3-0ing them as well, which was actually surprising to me because I thought AR was going to give us a really, really good match. I thought it was going to be like a 3-1 or a 3-2 with some pretty close maps in there, but we ended up playing really, really well against them and ended up 3-0ing them. So like I said, after our Rise match on Friday, we didn't drop a map until Winners Finals, and we'll get onto that a little bit later in the video log. But so we're moving out of pool play now. We're 4-0 in our pool. We're feeling really, really good. We only dropped 2 maps in our pool. I think we went 12-2 total in pool play, so we're feeling really good. Moving on later into Saturday night, we find out that we have to play Envy right after we played our Rise match, and I didn't really play that Rise match too good, or not the Rise match, sorry, the AR match. I didn't really play that well in that series, so I didn't have the best series against Rise. Or fuck, why do I keep saying Rise? I didn't have the best series against AR. So I was a little bit nervous. I was like, dang it, we don't got a break. I can't go eat. I was like, this might not be good. So we play AR, and then immediately after they're like, you guys are playing Envy. So the Envy match was a pretty interesting match. We ended up 3-0ing them in the end. Like I said, didn't drop a map to winners finals. The hardpoint was the closest match of all of them, I believe. I think it was like a 70 or 60 point hardpoint game. I think it went 6-5 in S&D. I'm not sure about that. No, actually, no, it was 6-2. Yeah, actually, the S&D was a landslide. I think we won 6-2 in the S&D. And then the uplink, I'm pretty sure the uplink was pretty close, or the CTF. I can't really remember what it was. That was a long time ago. There were a lot of matches. They all blend together. You guys know how it is. But so we ended up beating Envy 3-0. After that, I was like, bang, let's get it. We just beat Envy 3-0. In my opinion, Envy was like a top 4 team going into the tournament. I thought the top 4 teams at the tournament were us, FaZe, obviously the team that we played in the winners the grand finals. FaZe, I thought that they were one of the top 2 teams with us, and then we had Envy. I think that they were probably top 3, top 4 team, and then Prophecy, the team that we played at Gfinity, and we played them in the winners finals, and they took us to last map. So there were a lot of good teams there. So we beat Envy, a top 4 team in my opinion, at the tournament, and I was like, okay, that's a really good sign. We 3-0'd them. That was a pretty easy match. We're looking good. Moving on, we then played Just Us in the winners semifinals. I didn't really know what to expect going into this match because we hadn't ever really played Just Us before. I think we played them like one time in league play. We usually don't match up against them in the 5Ks, 2Ks, other tournaments, etc. We usually don't play them very much. So moving on to them, I wasn't really sure what to expect. We played that match really, really well as well. The hardpoint, it was pretty convincing. I think we had one of our better hardpoint. I think it was Biolab hardpoint, which is probably one of our best hardpoint maps in my personal opinion. So we had Biolab hardpoint. We beat that. We won that pretty convincingly. The S&D, I think the S&D went 6-5 against them. It was Detroit. Yeah, it was Detroit S&D. That one went 6-5. I remember that. And then the CTF, it was also pretty close. It was on Ascend. It came down to the last, couple of minutes. We went up 3-0 on the first side. Then they got 2 caps really, really early on the second side. So then it was 3-2. And then we had to hold for like 3.5 minutes or something. We had to either cap or hold for 3.5 minutes. So we ended up holding for 3.5 minutes. And we won the CTF 3-2. So then we 3-0'd them as well. So at this point, I'm really, really excited. We're playing very, very well. We're looking good as a team. Then we move on to winners finals, and this was an interesting match because this was against E6, a team that had formerly been an amateur team. They've always been an amateur team, but people had a lot of confidence in them that they could beat us. So people thought that they were going to beat us in the winners finals. So this team was obviously, pretty damn good. So we play them. I didn't know what to expect. I've played them one time before online, but I just want to say this. They were really, really good. I wasn't expecting them to be as good as they were, especially for amateur players. They're really, really disciplined. That was the surprising thing for me. They were really, really disciplined in CTF. CTF in this game is a little bit different than other Call of Duties, but for me to have like that understanding of CTF without somebody that was like a mentor to you, that's pretty impressive for me. So they like self-taught themselves CTF that well. It was pretty crazy, as well as hardpoint. All the game types. The only game type they beat us in was the CTF. I think we beat them like what map did we play them on? I think we played them on What map did we play them? I think we played them on Biolab hardpoint. Yeah, we played them on Biolab hardpoint. That was pretty convincing. I think we won by like 130. Then the SND, they beat us 6-5. We adapted a little bit too late to their playstyle, which ended up biting us in the ass. They beat us 6-5. And then the uplink, it was like 9-3. It was Biolab uplink. That's one of our better uplinks now. So we won that 9-3. That was also a pretty convincing win. Then the CTF was the craziest, CTF game I've ever played in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare so far. It was the craziest game, hands down. There were so many returns, so many clutches. It ended up finishing like with a 6-5 score, went into overtime, and they actually could have beaten us if Crim6 didn't go really, really big and kill the guy while he was like dashing to go down to the flag in overtime. So if he would have capped that, the game was over. We were going to map 5. But Crim went huge. He got that kill. I was so hyped. It was insane. But E6, props to those guys. They played so well. So that's the first map that we dropped since like Friday. We played like 4 matches since then, and that was the first map that we dropped, which was a 6-5 SN. Now, for the moment that you have all been waiting for, Grand Finals. Going up against FaZe. In my opinion, the team that, if a team were going to beat us at that tournament, it would have been them. And they did beat us at the tournament, but not ultimately. So, they beat us in the first series. The first series, that was like the worst I've seen us play in a long time. The first series was so chaotic. It was so frantic. There was no organization. It was just, we played horribly in the first series. The first series, we ended up losing 3-2. But the mistakes that we were making in Search and Destroy, I haven't seen us make. And that's including myself as well. It's not like my teammates that I'm blaming. It's myself. It's whoever made mistakes in SND. So SND, we were just making careless mistakes that cost us the SNDs really. And then in the comeback up lane that we lost, obviously I sort of choked. I don't know if you guys saw it, if you watched the tournament, but I turned and I was going to play the ball. My teammates were telling me to play it. Sorry, my throat is just fucked. But I turned, I threw the ball. I've done it 100 times. I threw the ball, and then I turned back to like slay with my team because they were all pushing green side of the map. If you go watch the replay, you'll know what I'm talking about by green side. So they're all pushing our base. So I throw it, turn back, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to help my teammates slay here. The ball, it had to have hit off the highway and bounce back in. That's the only way that I can see that ball bouncing back in, because that's what all the pro players were telling me. They were watching it in the pro lounge. I turned through it, and then like 2 seconds later, so it wasn't like it bounced back in immediately. It was like 2 seconds, it like bounced back in, and my teammates said, "Oh shit, it didn't go off the map." So instantly, I'm like, "Oh no," because that like cost us the game basically. So I jumped down for the ball. I tried to pick it up and play it again, but I died before I could, because then at that point there were 3 of them looking at me. But I was just trying to make like a last-ditch effort to try to get that ball off the map so they couldn't, score it. So I dive down, try to get it, throw it off, but they kill me. They then go and dunk, and that wins them the map in overtime. But that alone, I haven't made a mistake like that in a really, really long time, and if we would have lost, the whole grand scheme of things, I would probably beat myself up pretty bad about that, because that's a mistake you just can't make. I know it was unlucky, I know that it wasn't really my fault that it happened, but it was pretty careless in my opinion. I mean, obviously I could have made sure that it went out. I probably would have sacrificed dying for that, and then that could have put us in a bad spot as well, but I could have made sure that it went out, but I didn't. But then moving on to the second series, so we lost 3-2 in the first one. Moving on to the second one, we ended up 3-0ing them. We all went outside. We were like, all right, everybody get some fresh air. Everybody relax. The first series is over. All the mistakes that were made in the first series, don't worry about them. Don't worry about all those mistakes. It's done. You can't change them. It's over. New series. This one is the important series. So the first one, obviously we could have won. We could have won the tournament there. It would have been over. This was the important series. This was a series that everyone needed to clutch up and everyone needed to perform well. Because this was the series that if we lost, we didn't win the tournament. So I was telling my team, I was like, we played that series like we had to win. Now, there's a difference. There's playing to win and there's playing like you have to win. So we were playing so frantic, so chaotic, we were making careless mistakes, and it's because we were trying to force a win. We were trying way too hard to just force the win, and that's not what you want to do. You want to just play your best and play how you obviously know how to play and try to minimize mistakes. We were making mistakes because we were putting a lot of pressure on ourselves, and that is just something that you can't do, and that's what we were doing. So I was just like, just play the series, have fun, relax, stay calm, and let's play, and that's it. Don't worry about anything else. If we lose, we lose. If they outplay us, they outplay us. Just play, have fun, minimize mistakes, and we're more than likely going to win. And that's what we did. We ended up winning the grand final. Second series, 3-0. Biolab Hardpoint was a pretty easy map. We won that pretty convincingly. The SND, I think we won like 6-4 6-2. Actually, yeah, it was like 6-2. It was Terrace S&D. We played that one really, really well as well. And then moving on, I think it was Detroit Uplink. It went to overtime. Matthias went off that map. The rest of us couldn't even get a kill. Matthias went off. But then we won the tournament, and everything is good now. So, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. We completed the three-peat. Hopefully, moving on to X Games at the beginning of June, we can complete the four-peat. That's the tournament that I really want to win. It's going to be 2 chains out here, baby. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. As always, this is your Bob. Fight.